that I have done. I hung my macaw and my mermaid of Atlantis. I know how to record anymore, but I have a day off and I just got back from Miami. Within the last, I don't know how long it's been, I went to StitchCon and came back. I've worked 40+ hours a week and went to Guadalajara, Mexico for another wedding, and went to Miami for a wedding. It's like all of the weddings are coming up together because last year they were all canceled. If you're new to my channel, my name is Rocío. I am Cocohamas Stitchery, and welcome to everyone who's been hanging out and waiting patiently for me to post something. I'm here, I'm back, and I have a few things to share of like things that I've been working on, because even though I haven't been active in social media and YouTube and all of that, I have been stitching. Not like a ton, but I've been stitching. I also don't remember like what exactly I've stitched in between time. But I think this is going to be like just a hodgepodge floss tube of just random things that have occurred that are stitching related and life related. So this has been my baby, my pride and joy since, I guess, July. I have been working on the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery's Christmas Wreath Stitch Along. I would say like 1.5 clues behind, but I stitched through, I think, like 2 full clues, maybe 3. So it's been a lot of stitching. I was before right here. So the gingerbread person is new, then all of that is new. Mrs. Claus is new, and I don't know if you can tell in the camera, but I gave her some gold specks. You can't really tell. In person you can. And I changed her skin color to be closer to mine because, oh, I guess like I'm just assuming that you guys know everything about me. I changed Santa's skin to match my husband's skin. So then I changed Mrs. Claus and made her just slightly darker. And so yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Claus look like us. And then I finished up this, and then I started here, and this is where I'm at now. So they released a new clue. I don't think I've started it yet. I think I have just a little bit more on this clue and then the next clue. I think. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I think. I'm so excited to make this into a pillow and have it ready for this Christmas. It's just gonna hang around right here. It'll just like, you know, pillow. I'm so excited. So excited. So this should be a finish relatively soon. I've also gone back to my roots and I've been more of like a monogamous stitcher. I think I currently have like 15 works in progress. I really, really want to get them finished. It will take a long time because I don't have as much stitching time as I used to. But I really think that I can get them done because I have like 700 other projects waiting to get started. And I have noticed, so I always, like I was watching Julie, Kansas City girl in a Colorado world, her mid-year whip parade, which she has like 90+ whips. And I thought it was really funny because she's like, oh, someone will always come in here and be like, oh my gosh, you have so many whips, right? But what really is the difference between having like 90+ whips and having just like 15 works in progress, but you have 90 kitted things ready to get started. What's the difference? Just a couple of stitches. Really, that's the only difference. So I guess if we really think about works in progress, the ones that I have not put a single stitch in, I have like 200 works in progress because they're just in a queue waiting to get started. I started, so I'm pretty sure it's been a really long time, but my last like actual Flosstube video, I talked about Wallace and Gromit, and they had, and I will show it in a little bit, they had their debut in the World of Cross Stitching magazine. So immediately I downloaded the electronic version and started stitching. And see, it's been a while. Think about it. It's been like 2 months, okay? So before you're like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of stitching. That's not a start. Yes, I know, but it's been a while. So this is Wallace. He's not backstitched yet. And then here's the background. And then this right here, this little brown, is Gromit's ear. I love this project because, let me explain. In the background, you have half stitches. The orange is a half stitch. The green and that red color is just one strand of string in a full cross. And then you have Wallace in the foreground. And I don't know if you can tell like on the camera, but in person, it gives this awesome kind of 3D effect of him like jumping off of the wallpaper. And this is before I've even backstitched him to give him like real defined features. Whoever charted this and created this did an excellent job with how to use color and threads and, you know, very subtle different techniques to get this effect. Like, look at how many greens are in his vest. That's so cool. And his little eyeballs. Oh my gosh. So I'm very excited about this one. This is a new one too. And it has already been promised to my father, who has basically a gallery of my cross stitching. And then I do want to make a quick special thank you to Tammy. So Tammy I had been looking for the actual physical copy of the magazine, but was not having much luck. And Tammy found one, I think in her local Joann. And so she sent me this, which is so cute. And it has like, look, it has a little sunflower and it's just so adorable. So this was very sweet. I appreciate it very much. Look at the little gnomies. The gnomies are so cute in the back. And let's see, I will put a link to her shop in the event that you want one of these bags, because I think they're flawless. And inside the bag, look, it's Wallace and Gromit. It's so cool. So now I have a physical copy. I love it, 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 love, 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 love it, love it. And then the last new start, Frogworts came and went from the Black Needle Society. And I was having such a hard time deciding how I was going to stitch. So the idea is they were gonna have 7 years of bands for a band sampler. There are 2 years out because this is year number 2. And so when I was calculating how much fabric and how big the piece was gonna be, I realized I didn't really want that gigantic of a piece to hang or to figure out what to do with. So I decided, this is Color and Cotton's June fabric of the month. It's called Old West. And I decided to stitch it 1/1. So I have this so far. That is it. And unfortunately, I was only really able to participate in one stitching challenge from the Frogwarts retreat, because that was the only time that I was kind of available and then to stitch. And then also just retreat wise, I worked that Saturday. I've just been working a lot, which is great because work is great. I love work. I'm very happy with work. Let's see, so this is year 1 and that was year 2. So they'll get stitched one on top of another. And then I'll just keep making room for the rest of the years. That's basically all of my stitching. Let me show you one thing that I have acquired that I'm like ridiculously excited about though. Hold please. So I have been ridiculously obsessed with Biscornus recently. I made one Biscornus, not with me, it's actually still in my StitchCon bag that I haven't unpacked. And because I put it on the brag table. And so since then, I have also signed up for the Stitch West retreat in Salt Lake City, and I'm planning on making a Biscornu for that Smalls exchange. And so one Biscornu that I have been very excited to stitch and was hoping to come across somewhere in space is Mary 15 by Jasan. So Mary 15 is severely out of print and hard to find. And I just took a chance and submitted in a Facebook group. There's a Facebook group called In Search of Cross Stitch and Related Things, I believe. I can actually put the link below. It's a good resource to have. And I just, you know, out on a whim, decided that I was going to try to find it. This was, so the copyright here says 2009, and I believe it was sold as a kit. So some things that have occurred. One, when I posted it, I had a lovely, lovely woman reach out to me and say that she had the chart. Perfect. 2, there is a Flosstube channel called Tamara and Cross Stitch, and she, with the chart, and I think a friend who had the full kit was able to figure out the beads situation and also came across some things that were called for in the Biscornu. So, number 1, 28 count raw opalescent linen is really hard to find. Number 2, Zweigart Ruby Wine 28 count linen is discontinued. And that is what is needed to make the Biscornu. So I had a couple of options. I scoured the internet and I found some 28 count Zweigart Ruby Wine, some 32 count Zweigart Ruby Wine and 32 count raw opalescent linen. So I bought up what they had of the two. I believe the raw opalescent I found from 123 Stitch, and the ruby wine I found on a seller on eBay. I do not know if ruby wine is discontinued in 32 count. That I'm not sure. So, also watching Tamara, I think it's Tamara and Cross Stitch, I found the beads. So one of the beads I found on a company called, I don't remember. Just a Bead Story, Just a Story, Bead a Story, I'll put it down. And the other one I found again on an eBay shop. So they're really cute. Look, they're like little peppermints and they're the correct size. And then this one is red and green. Oh, here. Bead me a story. So bead me a story, and these are the striped ones. And I'll put the details down below. And then on eBay, from the same seller as the little peppermint beads, they had these that I thought I could use as the topper and the bottom, like the button for the Discornu. Then the other beads that were recommended by Tamara, 03003 and 10076, these metallic gold ones. I do not have the counting pin set that comes, or that was made for Merry 15, which are these like specific pins. There is one available on eBay for $300. I have no intention in spending $300 in that. So what I will be doing is finding, I don't know, probably just random counting pins that are Christmas related, and just slowly collect them and put them in the pin cushion once it's done. So this is definitely going to be a project that I will be starting soon. Well, not soon, maybe soon, but I want to have finished for sure for Christmas. So yeah, soon. I'm excited about that. Ooh, something that was really difficult to find that I still haven't found though. So there's this pearl cotton and garnet in a size 5. I'm looking for it in a size 8. I can't find it. So if I can't find the size 8, I will try the size 5 and let you know how that goes. I don't even really know what it's meant for. But yeah, so excited for that. With that, I also purchased, I think it's called Floral 15. And that should be on its way too, because now that I have Merry 15, I just kind of had to have Floral 15. And I mean, I've had lots of stuff come in, and I always have purchases coming in, but I just don't have anything with me right now. I've been trying really hard. So I used to like put everything away in a place where I could like show it for Flosstube when I would film, but then that started overflowing, so then I just started putting things away. And I figure, you know, this little nice check-in to say hello and show you all what I've been working on and what my favorite piece of haul has come in is good enough for now. Yeah, so I guess I will talk to you all when I talk to you all. I hope you enjoy the rest of the compilation of my film. Bye! So after an exhausting week of work, where I have to wear new goggles and a bunch of other new stuff and a lice kit, and just, you know, it's been a rough week. And I've been traveling. I traveled last weekend to San Antonio. I traveled 2 weekends ago to Miami. I'm back home, and I will be home this weekend. We are staying in. So let me show you what I do when I slob during my frat girl weekend, because that's what it's gonna be this weekend. So my goal is to definitely finish the Christmas wreath stitch along. That's what it looks like right now. So I am finishing up this area here, and then I have one more section that I'm hoping to finish by this weekend, and I will be all caught up on the Christmas wreath. And I am watching Mama Luda. So she is always first on my list to watch. And yeah, the rest is going to be binge watching a bunch of other things. So my goal is to do that and try to catch up as much as I can on Flosstube and stitch past my bedtime in my oversized t-shirt. Oh, and normally Gazpacho goes here, but he's not here right now. He's probably downstairs waiting for food that I'm not gonna go and give him right now. Where are you? Hi! You wanna come join? Hi, doggo! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! You're gonna eat later. I know. Oh my goodness, you're gonna eat later. You wanna cuddle? We can cuddle. I finished the 8th clue. It's finished. So I wanted to get a video before I literally just move the hoop and start clue 9. I'm so close to finishing. It's not even funny. For newcomers, I made a couple modifications. Number 1, this is the Christmas wreath stitch along. I think it's called the Christmas wreath by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. So a couple things that I did is I used a DMC Diamond Gold in the bow. I changed Santa's skin to match my husband's skin. I changed Mrs. Claus's skin to be my skin, and I gave her some gold frames that you can barely see from the same diamond. And I think that's all the changes I've made. It's really not that many. Oh, and the fabric. So this fabric is a Joann 28 count evenweave that I dyed myself using Rit liquid dye in the color wine. So I lovingly call it wine not, because why not dye your own fabric? However, you may notice that my wreath is not a circle, it's squished, because the squares in this even weave are rectangles and not squares. But it actually works out really well because it gives this nice little squishy face feel. So I'm excited how it's turning out, and I'm hopeful to finish clue 9 this weekend. We shall see. And then I guess after clue 9, there's just maybe a couple more clues left, and then I can turn this thing into a pillow and it can live right there. Yep, that's where it's gonna live. You're not gonna live there. The pillow's gonna live there. Yep, yep, yep. So things that occurred this weekend. I only stitched Saturday night and Sunday. So Saturday, my really good friend who lives here in Houston asked me for some help with her child while she was moving from an apartment to another apartment. So I went and did that thinking it was only gonna be a couple hours, but it turned into like all day. Not her fault. I'm actually very grateful that I was there, because her doing it by herself, she probably would have had a meltdown in her car. Let's just say that her car battery died when we packed everything up. So we had a nice little trip to the auto shop, who had the battery but didn't know how to install it. Then we went to the dealer who knew how to install it but didn't have a battery, and we had to go back to the other store to buy the battery in efforts to go back to the dealer and have them install it. It was a mess. like my hair is also a mess. So then my craziness doesn't end. I had a full day of stitching and then I went back to work today and I got out super early because our speech caseload has dropped a little bit, which I'm super grateful for. But one of our really close coworkers tested positive. So I went and got my brain tickled again. As you can tell, I have no symptoms. So we will await and see what the response on my rapid swabbing was. And this may be my quarantine if it comes up positive. We'll see. And this is how far I have gotten. I literally just loaded it up in the hoop, so I'm not gonna take it out. But I am about a little more than halfway done on clue 9. And then literally clue 10 is the end of the wreath. I said wreath. Wreath. So I'm really excited to get this done. I want to get it finished so fast. What else? Oh, we had to switch out the blanket because this blanket has pukey marks now because of a certain somebody who I hear. Hi, friend. Oh, hi. Yeah, say hi to everybody. See, that toilet paper was where we picked up your puke. You remember? Yes. So another thing that I have been asked about a couple times is how I've been doing my stitching with my Dubko. I'm on a couch, my purple couch, and I have you all set up in this little like hands-free iPhone thing. And so my hoop is loaded in my Dubko, and I'm just going to flip my fabric over. I think I left all of my stuff over there, but I don't know. This may help you, may not help you. We'll see. So I do sit cross-legged, and I do have like this, I guess, small coffee table that has the stand on it. And I bring it all the way forward to me, and so I'm within stitching distance and I can still go and watch TV over there. Normally, if it's in the way, I'll tie up my fabric using these, I guess, fabric holder things. But I mean, I'm towards the end of my project, so I don't think I really need it. And the excess fabric is more on the top. And then what else? I will put on some needle minders. Ooh, this needs better tension because this is not good. I'm doing 50 things at the same time while I'm recording. Oh, Lord. I need to tighten that tension. That's better. I have my iPad next to me too. So turn that on so I can see the pattern. Oops. Perfect. And then I think I am going to actually stitch over here. So let me load up. Can you see all of my scrap? My like nest of threads. So, okay, I'm gonna start a new thread. I just loaded it, folding it in half and doing the loop. Can you see? Probably not. So it has a loop. So I'm going to start by coming up. I'm gonna go down. And I'm going to flip this upside down. I don't know if you'll be able to see that very well. But then I'll take the needle, go through the looping, and drop. Some things that I can say about the Dubko. I love it. It did take some time to get used to. The flipping up and upside down and maneuvering a needle from the back and a thread from the back and tying off and securing and all those things, they took some time. So I will say that when I first got my stand, I wasn't using it very much because I hadn't dedicated the time to learn how to do that. It's a learning curve. The second thing that I will say is this stand is perfect for two-handed stitching. With that being said, I am an extremely, as you can see, slow two-handed stitcher. So this also needs a lot of practice, and not thinking, but just practice with the technique. When I feel like I want to work on it, I do, but my normal stitching is going over and under, and then using my left hand to straighten threads as I go back. So many will say that two-handed stitching is faster, and I would vouch that that is true once you are proficient in the technique. There is no right or wrong way to stitch. I love the way two-handed stitching looks, but like I said, so I'll do a little bit more. At StitchCon, watching Rika two-hand stitch, she helped me talk about the technique. So what she had mentioned was it's pull and then, wait, she said it was two fingers. I think it's this one and this one. So what she said was you pinch, and then when you flip the needle around, it's the second finger, and then you go through. The other norm is that the non-dominant hand is the one on top, which is my left hand. And the two-handed stitching has actually improved quite a bit, because before I struggled a lot with getting the needle in the correct hole or telling my left hand where I wanted it to go. Now I can at least put the needle back in the hole that I'm wanting it to go into. But my speed and I guess would be maybe the dexterity, the speed and the like shakiness has not really gone away. And like I said, if I just don't want to deal with it, then I just go back to my old way, which is this way, which I do, well, normally I do much faster. That stitch was slow. But I can get many more stitches done, I feel, on this hand. Yep. Hope that helped. If you have any other questions, now that I know how to record it, maybe I can help you. I also did, so Rika has the Velki Potoko, not sure how it's said, I'll put it somewhere here, traveling stand, which is way, way, way easier to travel with. She would just throw it in her oversized bag, like her duffel, not duffel, but just her, and take it. And mine was like clunky and I had to carry it. So since I travel quite a bit, I decided to go ahead and order hers. You order it and I think it still hasn't even shipped me like an invoice, so it takes forever to get to you. That one flips side to side and it doesn't have as much height, but it's much more mobile. I have not tried this as like an actual in my seat, like in my lap to stitch. I don't know exactly how comfortable it would be, but these little tiny cheapy bamboo tables on Amazon were perfect. And so yeah, that's it. Another day that I come back home early, which is unusual. I hope you enjoyed this kind of non-traditional floss tube. It has been the easiest way for me to record content and not kind of dedicate too much time into recording like a traditional sit down and talk. But I do understand that not many people like this vlog style. So leave your comments below. Let me know if this is something that you enjoyed, if not. I'm trying really hard to kind of figure out my groove in my channel. I created my channel 2 years ago when I was on an island and, you know, spent basically all day inside. And that just isn't my life anymore. So I have evolved as a human and my channel is evolving as well. Like I said, let me know below in the comments if this is something that you enjoyed, because I hit myself in the face. Because if it is, then this may be the future of how my floss tubes go. They will be a sneak peek into how my life is and what stitchy shenanigans I'm up to. Not daily, but you know, when there's like something new to talk about. Ball. Gazpacho, say goodbye to the people. Oh, did I cover? Say goodbye to the people. I may have covered the microphone. Anyway, I hope that you are all having a great day full of joy and positivity, or as much positivity and joy as possible during this chaos. And I will see you all soon with whatever I decide to make next. Bye!